imagine working at a job and you can constantly complain about the pay, and you complain, and then finally the government actually does something about it and raises the minimum wage. Well, due to that, you may actually end up losing your job because, I'll touch on in this presentation, but the minimum wage needs to be put on a threshold, so it needs to stop being raised to such high amounts, and it needs to stop have a cap where you need to pay the worker. So minimum wage, just so just some information, is the lowest wage permitted by law or by special agreement. Self-explanatory. And then two of the terms that we'll be touching on is cost of living and inflation. Inflation is a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing power of money. And then cost of living is just your basic needs, food, housing, healthcare, and taxes. That's pretty much what it is. By affording it, that's your cost of living. So to start is the problem. So unemployment is the biggest issue at the moment. So Frank Giotto, CEO of his own company, states in the Business Journal News Network in 2016, a 2013 Bureau of Labor Statistics study found that a dollar minimum wage increase translates to a 1.48% unemployment increase, a 0.18% decrease in the net job growth rate, and a 4.67% rise in teen unemployment. And based on these numbers, I mean, it's not too concerning because it's normal. So this number right here, the biggest percentage, almost a 5% rise in teen unemployment. Most teens are getting paid minimum wage. That's due to no education or lower level education, and also lower skilled. So that's like your grocery stores, your a bunch of maybe franchise foods, and then the 0.18% decrease in job net growth rate would be, simply put, is the more you get laid off, the less people are going to be looking to hire due to maybe salary or payroll. So that's really the main problem. And the cause, to tie in with what Frank Giotto said, in 2019, Mariana Kudliak, in the Working Paper series, which has ties to the Federal Bank of Cleveland, states, in both the standard neoclassical and frictional models of the labor market, the increase in the binding minimum wage leads to decline in the quantity of labor demanded unless the labor demand for minimum wage is inelastic. And most of the time it will never be inelastic unless the company really needs it. But in economic terms, to put this in a more simpler way, is as the price increases of like salaries and even goods, the demand will drop. So that's just basic economic terms, and you see right here, this is the equilibrium point, so, and the demand and supply curve. So you can really follow this up. As the price increases, it's just the demand, which is over here, decreases. And that's just simple economics. And then also, to continue the cause, you'll start to see some decline in businesses, like smaller family-owned businesses, due to the fact that they can't actually pay their workers due to cash flow or whatever. And then also you'll start to see inflation as you pump in more money into the market. The prices will go up, so even food, services, it all just keep increasing, and that's inflation. Technology. This is actually the solution. You'll see this in the fast food restaurants mainly. Josh Barro, an American journalist who focuses most of his work in business, states in the New York Times in 2015, if subject to the requirement, an owner could install iPads at the counters to take orders instead of live wage-earning humans. An owner could buy food that is already prepared by an outside vendor and employ fewer workers in the kitchen. So that's just buying frozen foods, like which most fast food restaurants do anyway. But mainly is the iPads that I want to touch on. You'll see Chick-fil-A, they have their worker with an iPad taking your orders. Sooner or later, they might actually kick him out and just have the iPad to take orders, as you see in McDonald's, where they have self-serve kiosks where you just order and take out the middleman or the cashier and only have like maybe 3 people in the kitchen, which again, you're just trying to increase profits of your business. And that's really what they're going to be doing. So this is the counter argument. In the beginning of the year, so this year, 2020, Andrew Sorgel states in the Civics Report, the theory is that consumers would have more spending power and would more actively contribute to the economy with a higher minimum. And that extra pay would also reduce the day-to-day stress of trying to make ends on limited income. So granted, yeah, what he's saying is true. It's a good point, but he's looking in the short run. I mean, yeah, you're going to have more money, more spending power. Maybe the economy will increase for the first few months, but as time progresses, you're going to see increases in prices of restaurants, of their food, and also even the dollar menu, so to say, at McDonald's. Those prices will increase too. They won't be $1. And honestly, and that's has to tie into inflation, but also, yeah. So that's, and then the cost of living. The cost of living will definitely go up due to the money in the market.